Hi guys, and welcome to Notable Needlework. I'm Kate, Notable Needle, Noteable, Needle, on Ravelry, on Plurk, and on Twitter. The blog is notableneedlework.blogspot.com if you're not already watching it there. And this is Yuki, and it's probably the one appearance she's ever going to make, because I kind of trapped her. She's not a lap cat by any stretch of the imagination, but she loves me, so she'll put up with this. She's a very pretty girl. Okay, you can go. Susu loves the attention much more than Yuki ever will. Although you'll see her tail from time to time, because apparently she doesn't really want to leave the desk right now. Anyways, it has been a good week so far. The interview went very well on Monday. I have not heard back yet. The cats are knocking things off my desk, including my speakers. Anyways, the interview went well. They said that I would hear within 2 weeks. And I know that they have to make their decision by the end of today because she's just gonna chew on things. I think she's leaving the room though. They have to make their decision by the end of today because tomorrow is the meeting to determine who gets into the bachelor's program, and so they want to take out the people who are in the master's program so that more people can get the bachelor seats. So, I mean, if I'm doing the math right in my head for how long it takes for the mail to get here, I feel like I should know by next Tuesday. By the end of next week at the very latest. But really, how long does it take to get things in the mail? That's the determining factor. Like, they could have already made the decision, for all I know. That would be cool. But I am just waiting for that. The interview did go really well, so I have a good feeling about it. And then yesterday, I helped out with the new student orientation. Well, one of the, I think, 12 new student orientations for Blazers and Blankets, the charity group that I'm a part of. Oh shoot, this is backwards. But it's my little button that says "Ask me about knitting," which I was wearing all day yesterday. It was actually a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to doing more sessions and meeting more of the new freshmen. That's why I still have my contacts in, because then they might not realize that I'm, 5 years older than they are. But yeah, for actual knitting, I have many works in progress. Although before I start, because I want to mention it before I run out of time, again, this episode is brought to you by the letter D for Dramatic Knits. Steve, he hasn't mentioned me in the podcast, but I'm on the little sidebar of podcasts that he listens to, and that's Steve from Dramatic Knits, and he's awesome, and finding that last night just totally made my day. So thanks, Steve. Yay. Works in progress. I have a lot more than last time I recorded, because I finally got my new needle tips in, so I was able to cast on things that I have not been able to because I didn't have the right needle size for them. So this, I think the pattern is Gabriel's Wings. It's just a little neckerchief shawl pattern. It's really simple. It's just, garter stitch sections, stockinette stitch sections. It's originally done with, I think, Noro sock, which is self-striping, and so you change colors so that you get, like, the really cool stripes. But I'm doing this in Madeline Tosh Merino Light in the Antique Trinket colorway, and that's exactly what it looks like, and I am loving the colors. I don't know if I mentioned it already in a previous podcast, but the owner of my local yarn shop has like a really good relationship with Madeline Tosh and all her crew, and when I finally figure out when our wedding date is, she's going to be custom dyeing me some yarn for bridesmaids shawls. Yay! Which is part of the reason I'm doing so many shawl patterns in the Madeline Tosh. And I love the way it works, like the way it knits up, so I'll be happy with whatever. So I've got a little bit done on it, but not a whole lot yet. Other new cast on is there's not a whole lot to show of it, but it is the Wendy Knits Summer Mystery Shawlette. I've really just done the setup, cast on a million stitches and knit 2 rows. I had started Chart A, and then I remembered why I don't like charts, and it's because I always forget to read them from right to left instead of left to right, so I couldn't... Well, not only that, I also was looking at the chart instead of the written directions, and so I just did the chart the whole way through instead of stopping for the center stitch. So instead of just ripping out that whole thing, that row, I ripped out everything and started over. There's not a lot to show. Hopefully there will be, because I'm planning on working on Chart A today. And I don't really have, other than laundry, I don't really have that much else to do today. And this is out of Berna Softy Baby and the Soft Lilac colorway. Yeah, it's acrylic, but it's pretty and it's cheap, and I haven't done purple in a really long time. Like, I have one other skein of purple yarn, and it's Knit Picks palette, and it's really itchy. And actually, I'll probably do, because I think the yardage works out, I'll probably do this pattern again with the 2 different palettes that I have. One's like a fuchsia and one's purple, so that might be coming soon if I ever finish anything. And of course, I also have the Amoroso scarf. I am almost done with it because I was actually working on it during the orientation session yesterday. It's really that mindless. Like, I was standing up and maintaining eye contact and talking to people while doing the scarf, and I didn't screw up at all. It is super long, so I have to, I mean, this is how much I have left, and I'm planning on using all of it because I can. I think I have somewhere between like 5 and 10 grams left. I started with 50, so I'm almost done. I'm probably going to save that. I've got another session next week, so I'll probably work on it then. I was debating whether or not to bring my spindle to the next orientation session because most people haven't seen it, and so it would like draw people over, but it has pretty much nothing to do with, knitting blankets and hats and scarves for charity, because I'm not really expecting them to, make their own yarn. We'll see. It'll depend on my mood that day. Finished objects related to the spindle. I dyed up my hand spun from a couple episodes ago. It's, I think, 180 yards. It's kind of like a light fingering. It's not that even, but it's 180 yards, and I'm probably going to do a scarf with it, so I don't really care. I don't know how well it's showing, but I did kind of... It started out as a tonal, and then all the colors sort of blended together, but it's lighter and darker in some spots. I think you can kind of see, like, that's not just glare, it's actually lighter in certain places, so it sort of looks like it has a sheen. If I was going to sell it, I would probably say that it was I don't know, like seashell or coral or something. It's pretty. I like it. I like how it turned out. It didn't turn out how I intended it to, but I like it. Other finished object I have to grab, and it was actually done at the last episode, but I totally forgot to bring it up. So, just a second. Where is it? Huh. Oh, there it is. It was hiding in a pile of yarn. It is, well, I'm calling it the Painterly Beret. I actually forget what the pattern was, but I will link it in the show notes. It's just out of the Impeccable Ombre. It's the Michaels store brand of yarn, the loops and threads. And I think this colorway was luxury, and I don't really know what's luxury about this, but whatever. I like how it turned out. It's cute and slouchy because I actually followed the pattern for it instead of, forgetting to make the increases like I did on the lace ribbon hat. I'm going to take it off because it is really warm. It's been in the 90s here with like 70% humidity. Yay! I never really thought that I would long for, 120 degree heat with 10% humidity. Yeah, kind of craving that now. My fiance's family goes to Utah every summer for the 4th of July and the days surrounding that. Because that's where his grandparents and his sister and her family live. It's right outside Zion National Park, and it is so freaking gorgeous there, and I'm super sad that we can't really go this year. Both because Will's working and I may or may not be taking classes. I won't know till I get my letter from the master's program, which sucks. I've actually finished the first assignment for that class because I might not find out until after that assignment is due. Because it's due the first lab. I guess that's pretty much it. I don't know, I've just been working on the other things, kind of related to knitting, but not actually knitting. So yeah, go watch Dramatic Knits, because Steve is awesome and hilarious. I think one of my favorite podcast episodes for like any show ever was the crossover episode where Steve was visiting Erin from Mommy Needs Yarn, because those two are hilarious. So yeah, thank you, Steve. I really do appreciate it, because I don't know, it means other people are watching besides... Well, actually, I really don't even think my family is watching, because my mom hasn't really been on Facebook recently, and it never really comes up in conversation. But yeah, that is about it. Once I find out from the master's program, I will definitely let all of you know. I have my little hierarchy of people who are supposed to know first, i.e. my fiance and my mom. Although, I sort of know how this is going to go. I'm going to call my fiance the nanosecond I get the letter. His phone is going to be off because he works in a lab making, like, metal. He's a materials engineer, and he makes metal and composite materials. His phone will be off. I'll call my mom. She'll freak out. I'll have to call my grandma because otherwise my mom will call her first. And I think Facebook will probably be the last to know. Plurk will probably know far before Facebook because I don't really have any overlap in those. Because I don't want people to hear from other people. I want them to hear from me. So that is about it. Hopefully next time I record I will have good news. And I will see you later. Bye.